Hey everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk about Man and Wife by Wilkie Collins. This is a sensation novel from the Victorian era, and thanks to my friend Kate Howe, I picked this up and I was not disappointed. In this book, basically we look at this woman who is promised marriage by one man, but then comes to find out she may have inadvertently become married to another man through the Scottish marriage laws at the time, and they were very archaic. But it's just so much more than that. The main character is very courageous, and I feel like he writes her in such a way that we really gain sympathy for her and we're on her side. And even though it's basically critiquing the Scottish marriage laws of the time. So basically, if you said in public you were married to someone, you're married. That's legally binding. So you can imagine the types of scrapes that occur because of that. And I thought he did a really good job critiquing that and really coming at it from a woman's perspective. And I thought he did a pretty good job considering this is the Victorian era. And not only do we have a really endearing, charming heroine, but we also have two really admirable men in this book as well. One is older and one is younger, so we definitely have two different perspectives there. I really like their relationships, and the way Collins writes is so gripping, and he's got some comedic relief in the book, but he also has the customary wicked villain, and it gets really dark. Not in a graphic way, but one of those deliciously dark books that you just can't put down. And I know Kate said it took her about, I think, 100-ish pages to get into this, but I was gripped from the very beginning, and I think I blew through this in 3 days. I did not want to put it down, especially once the plot started to get going. Oh my gosh. So good. I felt like I needed popcorn reading this book. And the ending, I remember it was 2 in the morning when I finished it, and it's never going away. It's just going to live rent-free in my mind. Out of all the Wilkie Collins books that I have read, I still think Women in White is my favorite, but I do think this one is a second favorite. It's so good. I definitely reread it. I'm already wanting to reread it, just talking about it, and I've been recommending it to people. The way he writes is just really compelling, and he explores his subject matter in a very respectful and feminist, especially for the time, manner. And the character work and the plot were just fabulous. And I also really enjoyed his exploration of the treatment of women in this book, not only through the marriage laws, but kind of the growing acceptance of brawn over brain in society at the time, and kind of developing early sports culture, which I've never seen in a Victorian novel, so it was really fascinating. We have a main character, Jeffrey, and he is basically perfect physique, perfect athletic build, and he's a semi-professional athlete, and he's also very flawed. And I just thought the contrast of that was just really interesting. And it definitely comes into play into the story as well. One of my absolute favorite characters is Hester. And I will not say why, because it's a spoiler. But oh my god, do I love her story. And the more you learn about her, the more fascinating she gets. And what I like about this book is the more you learn about the characters, the more deliciously dark it gets. And it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds to this epic climax. And I'm just never, ever going to forget it. So I highly, highly recommend this book. I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's just one of those where I feel like finding out the plot for yourself is part of the fun and seeing how it just builds on itself. But definitely check it out, especially if you love Wilkie Collins' writing style and his humor and exploration of social themes at the time. I think it's still very relevant to this day, for sure. And even though it's about, like, my edition is about 640 pages, did not feel that long. I blew through it, could not put it down, already looking forward to rereading it. So, have you read this book? If so, please let me know, or if you plan on reading it, let me know. I would love to talk to you guys about it. If you'd like to leave an emoji, leave some kind of sports emoji down below, since we have an athlete in this book. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.